My name's Andrew D'Agostino. That's my co-host Brian Gross, and we're back. We're talking Major League Baseball, and we're going to start off in Chavez Ravine, where the Dodgers swept the struggling New York Mets, who can not buy a win for shit right now. And let's just talk about it, man. It seems like the Dodgers pitching was kind of dominating against a really shitty Mets offense. Francisco Lindor had better at bats of late, but the Mets are playing uninspiring baseball right now, Brian. And I just want to hear your thoughts about what you thought overall about this series and how the Dodgers and Mets both played.
Yeah, I think it's just a continuation of how the second half of last year went. The Mets didn't start amazing last year, but they started pretty good. And I think they kind of sat back and thought, well, we just went to the NLCS. This will be an easy kind of cakewalk back. They just been not able to get the juice or any type of like momentum through the lineup. Pitching staff again's not looking terrible, but like Nolan McLean had a good outing the other night. Um, who went last night? Peterson.
Clay Holmes, and he pitched really well for
Clay
them.
Holmes, Clay
Yeah.
Holmes. Yeah. Clay Holmes threw well. Obviously Freddie's going to pitch well, but I mean this offense is abysmal. I would take offenses like the White Sox, A's, Rockies even right now. I mean the way they're hitting right now is really starting to become worrisome. Frankie said it best. When they're on a 7-game losing streak now, an 8-game losing streak. Frankie said it best that it's not in Hail Mary end of the world territory, but we're getting into needing to win some games. So back against the wall, this is what maybe they needed to kind of kick start themselves after a really bad start to last year. But it's an interesting plan. I feel like it's not exactly how they're planning it out, and especially with Soto out, these guys are going to have to pick it up. And Bo just hasn't seemed to hit that stride. Frankie getting better at bats, but until those guys start hitting, I mean, you're not gonna win relying on Luis Robert.
Yeah. And
With all due respect,
I'm gonna point out some notable stuff right here. These are the OPSs of some of their major guys in their lineups. Francisco Lindor, 576. Brett Beatty, 485, who was good for them a year ago. Dude, Carson Bench, the rookie that they were really high on, 463. Marcus Semien, who they acquired in a swap for Brandon Nimmo, 526. He's old as fuck. He needs to get
that was a
off the team.
steal.
MJ Melendez, yeah, that was just I don't know, salary dump or whatever. I don't think Marcus Semien was the problem in Texas, but I think they did that just to get rid of him. And what a smart move by Texas. It's working out for them, getting Brandon Nimmo. But dude, MJ Melendez yesterday made his Mets debut, went 2 for 4, and he looked like the best hitter on the Mets ball club yesterday, besides Francisco Alvarez, which is very concerning if you are a Mets fan, because if you watched MJ Melendez over the past couple of years, you know he is not a great offensive production at all, producing with the bat. And dude, one of the weirdest stories I think so far for the Mets is Tommy Pham. Got called up from Single A. They signed him on opening day. He was 0 for 2 yesterday, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And I think this is a culture issue, dude. I don't think this is about the talent. I really think this is a culture issue starting from the top.
Yep.
With Cohen and even Carlos Mendoza too. Like, I think the players gave up on Carlos Mendoza after the way he handled this, the second half of a year ago, when they completely collapsed and fell to their 2007 Met style, where they blow one of the biggest leads in all of baseball in the division and even in for the wild card a year ago. But let's just talk about this, man. This is definitely a culture issue.
Yeah, and you look at who they sign, it's all guys that are chasing bags. They're not really chasing rings or like, say what you want. I know this is probably people are gonna get pissed if they hear this, but I know Kyle Tucker chased a huge bag with the Dodgers, but he also did go to a championship team. A lot of free agents that are gonna chase the bag, usually that comes with being on a championship team. The Mets just aren't that. They're not a championship organization. It's plain and simple. Don't really care. They had the Miracle Mets in the 80s or whatever. That's really not going to happen again. Um, and at this point, yeah, like you said, Mendoza's definitely not respected. Players are definitely more individual, worrying about themselves. A lot of brands on this team. Again, a lot of guys that just are chasing that bag. There's not a good cohesion. A lot of moving parts too, which is going to be tough to build that chemistry. You look at guys like a Bo Bichette. Um, you were one win away from a World Series, and then you go to a completely different city, different mindset. I don't think he was dying to be a New York Met. People, I think
No.
he really liked the paycheck. Um, so I think that just builds a certain culture. Juan Soto's the same way. If they really wanted to build, a lot of these guys that came over would stay or go to other teams. So I just think it's the little brother. It's the island of misfit toys, even though they're really, really shiny toys. Um, like the Mets to me, like you look at the Mets, they've always trying to become the Yankees, right? That's always been the thing, big brother, little brother. And if you look at Yankee Stadium, it's like, seeing a Ferrari pull into like a $1 million lot. Like it makes sense. And then the Mets try to pull like a bunch of Ferraris into like a $100,000 lot. And it's just never been the same. Um, and it's just kind of a ever everlasting cycle of mediocrity and just no cohesion. Like the only Mets teams that ever had good um, success were the ones that had cohesion. They weren't like the most talented ones they've had. So that's just kind of what I think about the Mets. It's just kind of
Yeah.
there.
In 2024, when they made the National Championship Series, they were in year one of their rebuild. It was
Mhm.
after they sold at the deadline a year ago. The year prior to that, when they traded away Justin Verlander, when they traded away Max Scherzer, all the big names that they went out and signed that free agency, where we thought that they could be World Series contenders. Kind of the same thing right now, man. And dude, they're 29th in Major League Baseball in OPS, 617 OPS. Their pitching has been okay, but their bullpen is just giving up
Yeah,
inherited
really
runs.
bad.
Like Luke Weaver is just giving up runs left and right that aren't his, and that's why his stats are better than what they look like. But man, this Mets team is just very disappointing. And like you said, it's like a level of disrespect too coming from the ownership group. The way they handled Pete Alonso this year too,
Great
and,
point.
and the way that they carry themselves of trying to become the Dodgers of the East when they haven't had any success, and the way that they've ran the franchise with David Stearns too, just running it like a small market club that could spend money doesn't make any sense to me. There's no like it seems like there's no plan for the Mets. I think that it says a lot when you're you know 29th in offense in Major League Baseball behind teams like the Royals and the Giants, who have been complete dog shit to start the year offensively. So I would be very concerned if I was a New York Mets fan. I'm not ready to write them off right now, but I think I'm going to get there if they continue to struggle the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, am I still there? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yep, it came back. Yeah, I think there's, I mean, not the same success, but I think it's a lot like the Chiefs this past year in the NFL. I know I always make comparisons. Um, Kind of their starts, like they could go both ways. I think the Mets can go both ways here. Obviously, I don't have as much faith in them as I did in the Chiefs, but I think it's like two flashy teams that just have some superstars, but not a lot of substance behind it right now. And then I think the Mets, it's just like when you're that high paying of a team in a sport like this and you have very little homegrown talent on big contracts, kind of shows where your culture's at. Like everybody hates on the Dodgers, but they've built a lot of it from within, um, or at least some pieces from within. You look at like other big contracts in places, like Bobby Witt's in Kansas City, or all these young guys signing these long extensions. Mets don't have that. They just don't have that in one of their superstars, and I think that's kind of part of the recipe that you need is at least one of those superstars being a homegrown guy like a Vladdy, um, similar to anybody like that. And they just don't have that. So it's a subway station. That's kind of what they are, the whole team. It's constant movement.
yeah, for sure. I could 100% agree with that because if you think about you look at their roster right now, the homegrown talent is just Nolan McLean is their ace or number two behind Freddie fastball Freddie, which is up for debate. But if you look at their lineup, it's Carson Bench and Francisco Alvarez and Brett Beatty are the only homegrown
Right.
guys. The rest are external guys, either via trade, and a lot of them are from free agency. And
Yep.
if you're just bringing in guys that have winning pedigree, but some of these guys aren't winners. Some of these guys, I hate
Yep.
to say it, Juan Soto is a winner, but Juan Soto just went for the biggest bag. He didn't care about, which franchise had the best, chance to win a World Series. If he did, he would have stayed with the Yankees if he really wanted to play in New York out of the two. So I don't care
Yep.
what he says. That is just, total bullshit that he said that the Mets have a better, chance of winning a championship in the next 10 years. Yeah, it does not look like that right
Well,
now.
the
The way they're
Yankees, like, hate his family or whatever he said.
Yeah,
They're basically he was like, "Yeah, they threw my family down in, like, the barracks of the stadium." It's like, "Alright, no, they didn't.
yeah.
You
All right,
literally
buddy.
hit a game 3 home run against us." Like, "Shut up."
Yeah.
But
So
whatever.
I mean, that's all I got on the Mets. I just think that the way they've been playing and the body language too around the ball club. If you watch yesterday against the Dodgers, they all seemed
Really
defeated.
bad.
They all seemed like that the season was already basically over for them, and they're 7-12, which is just it's wild that there's so
Yeah.
much baseball left. But a team that I'm very impressed with so far is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Right now, they're 11-8. They just beat the Baltimore Orioles in the 3-game series, taking 2 out of 3. And guys that I want to highlight, Adrian Del Castillo has been on fire. We were talking about how the Diamondbacks don't have a lot of homegrown talent and that they're just trying to keep pieces together from that 2023 World Series runner-up team. Well, some of the guys that we were not very high on coming in, Jose Fernandez, another guy that they have, is their first baseman, has been very good, batting 306 with the 775 OPS. And then Iromao Vargas, who just seems like he gets hits all the time. This Diamondbacks team's been very impressive so far. Still not considering them a playoff team. I know it's early, but they got some talent across the board right now that can make them a legit threat for a National League wild card. Specifically, with some of the other teams like the Giants taking a hit, who we were both very high on coming into the year.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are impressing me. They still have, like, their main their main 3 stays, right? They got, Perdomo, Corbin Carroll, and Ketel Marte. Just such a good combination of different types, all small guys, but a lot of pop within that bat. It's funny, Perdomo's, like, easily the biggest out of all of them and has the least amount of pop. Just funny how that works. But yeah, Del Castro's really giving them a boost, especially with Montero kind of being on and off if he's banged up or not. Um, kind of been able to help him. But at the end of the day, this team's going to rely on that pitching. Pretty much same rotation they've had for a while here. But Paul Sewald as your closer kind of scares me. I know he's got good vibes in Arizona, but that bullpen's going to have to show a lot to me. But at the end of the day, there's about 4 or 5 NL teams I'd say compete for that last wild card, and they're definitely one of them. I mean, I don't compare them much different to like a Pirates or a Reds or even in Milwaukee if they don't win the division, or you say Phillies. I kind of put them in that same vicinity. So that last month is going to be really fun to watch in the NL. But I think the bullpen's going to have to show me a lot. But that's something they can do. We saw the pitching that they had a couple years ago. It's not that long ago. You see the Rangers kind of having a resurgence a little bit to start the year. Maybe these two teams kind of figured out how to re-inject some of that good vibes from what was that 2023 season.
Yeah. Dude, some of these guys in the rotation, they're 12th right now in ERA in Major League Baseball, which is it's pretty good to start the year, especially in the division they are with how good the Padres and Dodgers have been. They got swept by the Dodgers to start the year, but dude, so I'm looking at some of the names right now. Jonathan Loizaco, remember him from the Yankees? Very good reliever, reliable. Is pitching to a 4 right now in 9 games. Kevin Ginkel's still there. He's been getting roughed up, 5.87 ERA. Zach Gallen and Eduardo Rodriguez have been very good for them in that starting rotation, especially with Mike Soroka. He's pitched in 3 games, started 3 games, pitching to a 2.87 ERA. So they have guys out there, and they're getting Merrill Kelly back, who looks okay in his first outing. So they have guys in their rotation. They have the pitching to win games. It's just how will the offense do later down the stretch? And I think that's the biggest question revolving around the Arizona Diamondbacks right now is how can they compete and score runs against teams like the Dodgers? Because they have the pitching to compete and to make the playoffs, but how can they, score runs and compete against the Dodgers, the Padres, the Cubs, the Mariners, or not the Mariners, excuse me, the Brewers. So how are they going to compete against those certain teams later in the year?
Yeah, definitely. And that's a oh my gosh, which guy did you bring up? I just completely blanked out.
Merrill Kelly.
Oh, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Mhm.
I think the reason too he's been kind of nice is he got a nice little vibe boost from the WBC, especially pitching in some big games. So I, that's where everybody. I know this is totally off topic, but I see a lot of people being saying the WBC was kind of detrimental to some guys, but I think you could see pitchers kind of getting off to a good start. But I mean, if they keep throwing like this with a bunch of veteran arms and they stay healthy, 86 games is definitely there. They mash, dude. They mash.
Yeah, and they've really impressed me the way that they've came out and swung the bat, especially Iramala Vargas, their second baseman. Very good contact bat. He's just raking, dude. 383 batting average. He's in one of the tops in the league with the 1.0 OPS right now. And if the Diamondbacks continue to play the ball the way they have been, they'll find themselves in the playoffs. And another team that I think can find themselves in the playoffs, and they very well should be because they're so highly favored coming into the year, is the New York Yankees. And, they came in to this Angels series really struggling offensively. Right now, they lead the series 2-1. They came back and won yesterday in the decisive, 2-run seventh inning. But dude, Mike Trout, I want to talk about him before we get into the series. Has been unbelievable so far, and I'm so excited and so happy for baseball that Mike Trout is back.
Oh yeah, we need him back. We need him DH in at least 60 games. I don't need to see the over-the-shoulder catches and the diving catches anymore. I want to see this. I want to see this dude add 100 home runs in the last 5 years to his career. I want him to mash onto the RBI numbers. Dude's such a fucking tank. He's a linebacker on the baseball field. And even though the Angels are blowing some games, which is going to happen with this team. I'm telling you, they're still one of the most fun teams to watch in the league. They absolutely mashed the ball. Even Moncada had a good hit last night. Soler, Joe Adele is so fun to watch too. I think Kurt Suzuki probably just needs another year or two to get the identity of this team, but I think it would just do great things for this team if they could get through a good 162 with Mike Trout being available for most of that. So just 4 home runs in 3 games, and it's so funny he does this in like New York Yankee Stadium because you just know he's such a big moment, dude. He's just so made for it. I remember all like the debates me and my buddy Andy used to have on high school baseball with he was a Bryce Harper guy, I was a Mike Trout guy, and he always used to be like, "Who's better?" And I no disrespect to Bryce, it's just like Mike Trout's just so made for the big moment. He's the perfect baseball player to watch, and his swing's so effortless, and he's really locked in right now. So pray to the baseball gods. We'll all pray right now that he'll at least get through about 130, 140. I'm sure he'll have a 10-day IL stint here and there, but hopefully we can just leave it to 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's a great discussion to have. Your point that Bryce Harper and Mike Trout were both rookies around the same time, and everybody knew who Bryce Harper was coming up because he was a baseball phenom coming out of high school. But Mike Trout's been the better player overall, and it's by a large margin. Dude,
Yes.
like you said, he should probably be DH and more. I'm looking at his savant right now. He right now 18th percentile in range, and the sprint speed's still good. It's at a 90 sprint speed with all the injuries he's had. He's
Yes.
also 100 percentile in XWOBA, which is just legit. He's not being lucky. His expected batting average is an 83rd percentile, 100 percentile in slugging. So like he's back, man. He's back, and this is not a fluke that Mike Trout is back. He's finally healthy. He's finally you know, getting into his routine again, feeling 100%, normal, right? It's not normal
Mhm.
for somebody like him who really didn't get injuries since the past couple of years, like really hasn't faced injury concerns his entire
Yeah.
career until now.
Absolutely.
So, 34-year-old still got some time under his belt, still one of the greatest of all time. Arguably, I think an argument you can have soon is he better than what Ken Griffey Jr. was at this time in his career? If you look at the stats, they're pretty similar. And Mike Trout just just a special talent, man. I just wanted to talk about him before we get into the series. And, for the Yankees that struggled offensively to begin, the year, these past couple weeks, they had that big win in game one, that 11-10 victory where they banged out 25 hits. And then the Angels, man, in the second game, they got to Ryan Weathers. He gave up his first 3 home runs of the year. Mike Trout had that big one. And then Joe Adell followed with Jorge Soler after that. And man, this Yankees team had that resilient comeback. Their bullpen kind of shut them down yesterday. They had 5 scoreless innings against the Angels. But overall, what are your biggest takeaways of the series with the finale tonight?
Yeah, Mike Trout, Mike Trout, Mike Trout. That's basically it. Judge has had a good series as well. He's had a couple dingers as well. It's just this team's like a fireworks show. Like it's either the best thing you've ever seen, like thousands off in a row, boom, 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 or it's just whimpery one, two. Like they're just again so up and down. I don't think they're like the Mets where they don't have cohesion. I do think they like playing with each other. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think they have like a team chemistry problem. I just think like a lot of guys just like aren't great hitters and they're just really in rough spots and nobody's kind of taking that role of they don't really like pepper in the lineup as well. Like they slug, they slug a lot, but like once they start peppering the ball and hitting those singles and doubles, especially like the good singles, that's when they start becoming the most dangerous team. Like when they start, like Trent Grisham hits a 2-out single with a guy on first and third. I get way more scared of that than 2 solo shots in the first inning. I can get over that pretty quick. Um, the rally ball, like that's what they kind of need to get back to more of. Not necessarily like small ball, but just more like kind of contact.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be fine. They showed really good in clutch moments. Jose Calabero hitting a big single the other night kind of just showed that was I think that was a huge moment for him, especially with that shortstop position kind of being questioned so far to start the year. So um, biggest takeaway this series, yeah, Mike Trout. And the Yankees are pretty good in the clutch. I would say I'll give them credit in that so far this year. But yeah, Angels, DH Mike Trout, please. That's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, and their current DH is Yohan Moncada, so they can get away with that,
Just
dude.
put Joe Adell in center. I don't
Yeah.
like he could definitely play center. I don't like and use his speed on the base pads as he gets older. Don't use it on the
Yeah, don't
like
use in
base
the
pads
field.
are
His
more
range isn't,
controllable.
and like I said, right now Trout's range isn't as good as it used to be, and that's because of the injury. And I'm sure there's fear factor too, like of running into the
Yeah.
wall, tearing, Achilles or rupturing a knee tendon. Like that's always in your head. The way he plays the game. He played reckless when he was younger, kind of like how Jose is right now. They both play reckless. They both play hard baseball. One thing I want to talk about the Yankees. Just kind of another reason why I think Aaron Boone is a fucking retard, excuse me, is Ben
Ben
Rice
Rice.
was benched for
Yeah.
2 games. And dude, let's just talk about this. How do you bench a guy who has a 1 OPS, right? Who is 4 home runs, batting 333. But here are the stats that just absolutely wow me. He benched a guy that's 98th percentile in expected OBA. He benched a guy that barrels the ball 95% of the time, or it's just wild. Hard hit percentage, 99th percentile. Right now, Ben Rice is up there at 8 run value, 96th percentile. They are playing guys like Jazz Chisholm, Ryan McMahon, just to name a few, Austin Wells. Giancarlo Stanton's not been very good for them either. I just want to mention that.
Yeah. Well.
Paul Goldschmidt, they're playing. I know the club's good, but like he should not be playing over Ben Rice no matter what. You got to find a way to put Ben Rice in the lineup. And for the Yankees, he is the guy that is going to, replace what Soto gave you a couple years ago to get you to the World Series. That is Ben Rice right now. Ben Rice is your honestly, he's your best hitter besides Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is not producing the same level as Ben Rice right now. So I just want to ask Aaron Boone, what the fuck are you doing?
You know what this is. This is I Not as bad. He does this, but Tito does this at times. Like he likes his guys. He wants his guys. Um, for some reason, he is just obsessed with Jazz and Ryan McMahon, and I don't understand how these guys play. I like Austin Wells. I get if you don't want Ben Rice catching a bunch, and I get like Goldschmidt against lefties, but no, it's despicable. We're getting robbed of a great talent. Uh, it's really sad to see because like he was giving guys like Greg Bird and like Luke Voigt more at bats
Yeah.
consistently than a dude like Ben Rice, who's I mean, I don't want to like any Yankee. I've always kind of liked Aaron Judge. I've thought he's done it the right way. I know my friends don't like that, but like Ben Rice is like, I mean, how do you not like him as a baseball
Yeah.
fan? Plays catcher first, mashes the ball. He's not like this. I think it is so overrated now in the analytical days, the righty lefty. I really think it is. I know stats probably don't back me up on that, but I know there's a couple guys out there, but I think that's such a fucking lame excuse. If you have that type of hit power, like a DeLauder, like a Rice, um, even I know I'm going Indians again, but even like a Manzo who can barrel the ball like that, you don't you don't give them limited at bats, especially early in the career. If you find later in the career that yeah, this is really something they can't do, then okay, we adjust. But give the kid at bats, man. I just don't. No matter how you can get him out there, I think finally with pressure, probably he'll start putting him out there, but we'll see.
Yeah. And we saw the Tigers do this a year ago with Kerry Carpenter. He
Yep,
didn't really hit well
that's a good
against left-handed
comparison.
pitching. The splits were so bad, but like you can't keep a guy like that out of the lineup, no matter how well they've hit. Hitters hit, right? They always find a way
Yeah,
to adjust. So like if it's really a concern of how Ben Rice can't hit left-handed pitching, well, why not just still put him out there? Let him get the at
hmm
bats under his belt. Who cares? Who cares what the results are? If they're
yeah.
quality
What's the
at
best?
bats and he's slugging for you, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, what's the
So
best way to get better at something is to
yeah, to see more
fucking
pitching.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So yeah, man. They got a big one today. The Yankees kind of need this one. They're right now they're sitting in second place behind the surging Tampa Bay Rays in the American League East, who I want to talk about instead of talking about this Marlins series. I just think that's just baloney. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about
I'm
the Tampa
totally
Bay
fine with
Rays.
that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Tampa Bay Rays, man. They're kind of surging. Right now they're high up there in team OPS right now. So they've got guys to really watch out for. They have a lot of talent on this ball club. Junior Caminero, Chandler Simpson, who's one of my favorite players. Taylor Wallace has been really good for them. They're pitching with Drew Rasmussen. They have a bunch of just studs on this ball club. What are your thoughts on the race so far?
Fun, just fun, man. They remind me a lot of our team. Just a lot of really good players that do their job. I don't think there'll probably be more than well, no, they'll get two. Junior and Yandy as all stars. Yandy's just amazing, and it's funny. They're literally their two best hitters are made in the Cleveland Indians organization. In a way, Junior was so young, but that's besides the
Yeah,
point. But guys that do their jobs, right? Yandy Diaz obviously going above and beyond, but 8 walks to 8 strikeouts. Like I want to tell you guys these numbers for walks to strikeouts with their main hitters. I fucking love this so far. Chandler Simpson, 3 walks to 4 strikeouts. Junior Caminaro, 12 walks to 15 strikeouts. Jonathan Aranda, this is not even that not even better than these guys. It's still pretty good. 10 walks to 17 strikeouts. Yandy Diaz, 8 to 8. That, if you combine those right there, that's damn near what, 33 and like 33 walks to like 50 strikeouts. I mean, that is from your top four hitters. 33 strikeouts from your top four hitters in this amount of games. That's such a good number. They're constantly getting good contact. They're constantly getting runners over and in. I bet they lead the league in sac flies and like ground out RBIs and um, all those types of like out RBIs because they just produce so many runs and everybody does their job so well. Pitching's been terrific. Um, I just love, I mean, pitching's really, really good. I just love watching this team hit. I just think they mastered not mastered, but they're getting a real flow to their type of offense that they need to be able to produce because they're not going to hit 1,000 home runs. That's not their team, but they'll run into some. But you know, they're meant to move guys, doubles, singles, steal bases. That's what they want to do. Put
Yeah,
the
dude.
pressure on the pitcher.
Mhm. Oh yeah, dude. This team is really impressive so far, and I don't think this is a fluke, man. I think they're the real
No.
deal. I think you know what a Kevin Cash managed team is, and it's always a competitive ball club. No matter what, it's going to win about around 80 games. I know they were under that mark a year ago, but here you go. Fifth in the league in barrel percentage. They are fifth in the league in team OPS behind the Washington Nationals, who I'm very surprised that they're even up there. I know CJ Abrams has just been raking, but they're a fun team to watch too, dude.
They are.
Um,
They are.
just want to give them their flowers because, like, not a lot of shows have been talking about them except for Abrams, but want to give these teams their flowers. But yeah, dude, this Rays team's really good. Another guy that I really like watching on this team, and he's kind of not really breaking out, but having a good start to the year so far, is their center fielder Johnny DeLuca. Right
Yes.
now, 80 percentile and expected batting average at 285. He's hitting 286 right now. He hits the ball hard, man. Hits the ball hard. His square percentage is not really, it's not qualified on here, but he has high bat speed at 73 miles per hour. So he's a young kid that's finally getting every day at bats for the Rays. And I'm excited to see what he can do in a full season under his belt. Um, Plays really good defense out there. Just a guy that I really like, especially with Cedric Mullins not playing very well. We talked about the other day, Evan Fortes, their catcher, has been raking for them. Nice piece that they have. And I think it's crazy to see like they're 10-7 right now, but like Jonathan Aranda has not really gotten going, and I think he's a big key to this club if
Yep.
they are going to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. And yeah, he's driving in runs, but his slugging not great. But yeah, if he gets going, especially with the way Yandy and Chandler are hitting, or Yandy and Junior are starting the year right now, with some good home runs. Junior's a little slow with average, but he's hitting a good amount of home runs. Yeah, this team's just gonna go to the moon, especially with having Chandler Simpson on almost four out, more than 4 out of every 10 at bats. So that's just such a weapon to have.
Yeah, and he's been
Even though
unlucky.
Jose ties him in stolen bases right now.
Jose feels, I
I'm
feel
just
like he
saying,
steals a bag every day, dude. But
bro,
uh
he had to get on an athletic program a couple like, it's just so crazy how many more guy
no,
like, he definitely looks faster,
he does, man.
100%.
One thing about Jonathan Aranda too, like I'm looking at the savant a little bit, and from the research I did, he's pretty unlucky, man. So for the Rays to have a 10-7 record or 11-7 record right now, and he's 78th percentile in xOBA. His expected batting average is 259. That's like 30 points higher than his current batting average. Dude lands a ball on the sweet spot. Eventually, those balls are going to start flying. He's hitting the ball in the center field, the deepest part of the yard. Has the same problem as Bo Naylor right now. When you hit the ball at the deepest part of the yard, it just turns into outs. Excuse me, turns into outs, not arts. Uh, but man, just like eventually when he starts turning on balls, this team's gonna get scary because he's gonna start producing. A year ago, he had 882 OPS, 14 home runs. Big guy, 6 foot, 215. Like I like everything about Jonathan Miranda. I think that this Rays team is going to benefit once he starts getting going.
He's a perfect, kinda yin and yang to or a perfect other side of the coin in this case, or a third piece, I should say, to the righties in Yandy and Junior, being able to have that lefty in the lineup, so it's just such a good lineup, man.
Yeah,
They're kinda starting like the Blue Jays last year.
yeah. Where the Blue Jays got off to that very good start and just kind of like didn't slow down after that. Like guys like Andres Jimenez, who it feels like a merchant. He's just so good in April and then just awful for the rest of the year.
Loves
He's
April.
off to the
Loves
same start right now. Yeah, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but it's like every time I watch the Blue Jays on big inning, the dude's homering. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Where was this for us? But I
Yeah.
want to play a game real quick before I get you out of here. I know you got some stuff going on today. We're gonna play a little bit of 20 game report card. All these teams are 20 games in. I know Cleveland is after tonight. We'll talk about that on Bridge to October tonight after the game. But Dude, there's a couple teams that I want to talk about that are very good, and we already covered the Rays, but we'll start off with them. What grade would you give the Tampa Bay Rays sitting right now?
I'd give him an A. Perfect would be if Aranda's hitting, but I mean that's just nitpicking. Pitching's been great. They have like a 35-year-old Nick Martinez with a 2 ERA to start the year. Drew Ransman's looking good. Um, really looking good. Shane McCallahan pitching more. You know, closers are looking good. I think Baker, right? Isn't Baker closing?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, an A for the Rays right now.
Yeah, I have them at A minus. I think an A is like it's good, it's quality stuff. But I have them at A minus. They're at a -2 run differential, which I don't really care about. I just want to point that out because some people might take that off as their grade. They're playing really well at home. They're 4-2 at home, but they're 6-5 on the road, 5-1 against teams over 500. So it's not like they're beating teams that are just trash. They're going out there and beating really competitive teams like the Yankees, like I said. um, yeah, this team's very good, and their bullpen's been so dominant too, man. And they're pitching to a 275 out of the bullpen, three shutouts right now. This pitching staff, so I'm giving the Tampa Bay Rays an A. Other team I want to talk about, a team that still has yet to lose a series, is the Atlanta Braves, sitting at 12-7. It kind of feels similar to their 2023 season, but what you got me, Brian? What grade do you give the Braves?
Yeah, A plus, man. They're just so deep. If you have Dubon and Michael Harris hitting like this, especially with Acuna starting to figure it out, he's always a slow starter. I'm not, and he's been super unlucky as well. He's been one of the most unlucky hitters in baseball. You have a guy like Doug Baldwin who's just mashing. That doesn't even account for, they thought Sean Murphy would still be here this whole time. And they have Drake Baldwin just mashing. It's just so much depth. Olson looks great. Riley will figure it out. He hasn't even looked that bad. He's just got to find the barrel a little bit. Michael Harris hitting well. I mean, it's just too deep. Pitching's too good. And then I think once injuries come back for pitching too, that's going to help a lot. So then and they'll make a move. So A plus start to the year though. This is exactly what they needed to do after last year.
Yeah, I think this is great. The A plus start. This is just reminds me of how deep they were in 23. How they had one of the best lineups ever in baseball, but they ended up choking to the Phillies in the divisional round. But man, right now, 28 home runs. They're pitching 185 strikeouts. Bryce Elder has been elite for them. Chris Sale's been elite for them. Martin Perez, who looked pretty good against the Tribe. Just, didn't really give up a lot of hard hit contact, but controlling the zone, a nice veteran piece that they have. Wow, Hurston Waldrop and Spencer Strider and Spencer Swallenbach, are all in the IL. I like this Braves team a lot. I think that they compete with the Dodgers more than anybody. If you listen to the middle of the order, you know how high on them Christ, high on them I am. But man, I'm very excited to see what the Atlanta Braves can do once they start getting into divisional play uh, sooner than later. Do you have any other points on that, man? I'm excited. I like talking Braves, man. They're one of my favorite teams to watch. Probably my second favorite team in baseball.
Uh, oh, oh,
You're good.
sorry, I cut out there. I accidentally interrupted you. No, but I kind of agree. Well, I don't agree with second favorite team in baseball. I'm a '90s kid, so I still feel like I have scars from '95, even though I'm a
Yeah.
'97 kid. But I feel like somehow. But my no, I like the Braves. I like any team that can kind of challenge the Dodgers, man. And we all talked about it. You preached this to me at our old job and first episodes or two here. They're going to be the team that's going to be able to kind of contend. They have the talent to contend with the Dodgers. So I didn't think it would be their year, but I mean, I would love to see. I mean, Acuna, dude, I still think he's probably pound for pound takeaway pitching with Otani. I still think healthy Acuna is the best player in the world. I know that might be a hot take, but I think when healthy and without the pitch, that dude is the most complete baseball player I've ever seen. He literally, I feel like it's like Hank Aaron with like, you know, Ricky Henderson speed. Like it's just insane. I just hope he stays healthy. He's like a Mike Trout, generational talents. You just hope stay healthy. Um, So I would love for the Braves to get hot this year, man. I would love a good Braves
Yeah.
Dodgers NLCS 6-7 game good series. That's exactly what the West needs to get a little hope before the lockout too. So
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I like their bullpen too. I didn't mention it. Their bullpen's been pretty solid.
absolutely,
The addition of Robert Suarez has been good for them. Jose Suarez has been pretty dog shit. That's the only major flaw. But they have obviously Albedo. I think I butchered that name. He's a righty. He gets them multiple innings. He pitched really well against the Tribe and against the Diamondbacks, the games I've watched. And man, to have that punch of having the two closer role in the bullpen with Robert Suarez and then going to Raisel Iglesias, who's still a great closer, is huge for them.
yep.
But that's all I got. The Atlanta Braves. We're gonna go on to the San Diego Padres. So I'm very shocked that they started off well. I thought this would be the end of the tail for the Padres, where they
Me
would not
too.
be as competitive as recent years. But they're sitting at 12-6. What would you grade the Padres?
Oh, A+, man. I know I'm just hitting the hammer again, but you got to stay. If they ever want a chance, they're the only team to have a chance for the division in that division besides the Dodgers. So if you wanted a chance, you had to start hot. You're gonna have to kind of catch the Dodgers in that mid-season lull that they usually hit all the time. But this team is so impressive, and dude, like, shout out to your boy Anders. I threw on like a $5 bonus bet for Mason Miller and El
Yeah,
Cy Young, and the dude's just. I mean, I don't care if it hits, but
he's gonna win it.
it'd be nice. I think he
Yeah,
could. Like, I'd honestly think he could because that dude's just like he's on that Eric Gagne type shit from 2001, I think that was when he went up with the
yeah.
Dodgers. I mean, this dude's just cooking, and when you can end games like that or keep them close like that, and then last night coming back from 6-2 in the bottom of the 4, and dude, those announcers are just as good as the Hornets announce team are like my 2 favorite local teams because like he hits a double and you swear it's like a playoff game or something. It's just
Dude,
such
yeah.
good energy and on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and obviously he has like I forget his name, but he has the famous slang like "Welcome to San Diego."
Yeah, the
Like that's
promo,
the famous.
yeah,
Yeah, like dude, you just gotta love San Diego. They love baseball. They love the Padres so much. It's so much love. It's similar to like how I look at like a New England or a Green Bay. Like not really in a major city with other sports teams, kind of near them, but they're kind of so special to that area. They just hold so much weight, and AJ Preller just done such a good job of reloading that team. And I know they gave up the number one prospect in baseball, but dude, give me Mason Miller and 60
yeah.
closes, there's 60 saves every fucking time.
Yeah, the offense has not been very elite. They've been just kind of decent for them. Uh, that will eventually come to life. Tatis, they have Machado. They still have all the guys that have been around, but
That's how you beat the Dodgers, though. Small
yeah,
ball, dude.
for
They're
sure, man.
starting to
Yeah,
learn. They're starting to learn.
they're starting to play team baseball, which was the Padres' issue when they even acquired Juan Soto. They were more all
Yeah.
about themselves, trying to stat pad, hit home runs. That's why they didn't make the playoffs this year. That year in 23, a lot of people don't. You know, they ask why they didn't. I'll tell you why. It's because they're all selfish and wanted to play for themselves.
Mhm.
But big thing that I want to talk about: Mason Miller should be in consideration for the Cy Young if he continues. He should win it, honestly, in my opinion. And here's why, man. Right now, 94 percentile in fastball pitching run value. Fastball run value is at 65 percentile, which is very low, and it's only at a 1 run value, which is crazy. But 100 percentile expected ERA, 100 percentile in expected batting average, 99th percentile on average exit velo, 100 in chase, 100 in whiff, 100 in K. I mean, what else would you want from a closer, right? This is up there to Emmanuel Clase's 24, where he was the most dominant pitcher in all of baseball. Right now, Mason Miller in 8 appearances hasn't given up a run in 8 in the third innings. He has 20 strikeouts and a whip of 2.4. I mean, like, there can't be anybody else who's better. Tarek's like, who's the best pitcher in the sport? Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens, or Mason Miller?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this rate, I wish Garrett Crochet was on that list, but sadly I can't and
Yeah, he
put him
got
on there.
roughed up
I can't put him on
in
there. We don't have to talk
Minnesota.
about that. We don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about that. I don't want to talk Red Sox. I've admit they don't look great. But No, dude, the Padres are just so much fun to watch, and if they start playing this little small ball, they're gonna start building. They needed to build that type of, when they went to the NLCS years ago, they had that hometown, like chemistry, like the way they played, like it was Slam Diego, like it was seriously their type of baseball. Um, and that's how they gotta do it. They gotta find a different way to beat the Dodgers. No one's gonna outslug or outpitch the Dodgers. You gotta win situations against the Dodgers. You have to prepare yourself to be able to win hard situations, as in bases loaded, one out, second and third, one out, first and third, no out, and they are equipped for that. With the amount of fielding they have as well and the amount of pitching, that's how you beat those teams. That's why the Yankees didn't touch the Dodgers, even though they had more talent. That's why I still think this is such a hot take, and I don't care because we're a fucking podcast and we're about hot takes. But I still think we would have done better than the Yankees in the World Series in 2024. I just think the style of play and the way the guards played would have just matched up better in that situation where it's about winning moments and those small little games, and um, kind of treating baseball more like a mini game than just like a full 9 innings. And if
Yeah.
they start doing that, that's how you're gonna beat this dot. And again, man, if you could have the Padres, the Braves, hell, if the Brewers stay hot or the Reds, if they stay hot, whatever, and the Dodgers all fighting, that's gonna be a really fun NL playoff. And we all know the Dodgers are probably getting out. We just want to see competitiveness, right? We don't want to see the Dodgers go 4-5-4. Like that's no fun, man. Like we want to see them at least get stretched in one series. Pause. Had to add that in. Sorry.
That was great. Yeah, no, I just want to see them get not boat raced. I mean, that would be nice.
Challenge. You just want to see
Yeah,
challenges, you
just want to
know?
see challenges. Like Phillies gave them a run for
Absolutely.
their money last year.
Look at the
Last
pot like Blue Jays, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
the Blue Jays did too. Yeah, it's just like a
best series
matter
I've
of
ever
who
watched.
comes up in the clutchest moments, and it seems like the Will Smith, Mookie, like all the other guys that have been there for so long have that advantage. But the Padres, they're not that far off, man. Last grade that I'll give you is the start of the year for the Reds. How would you grade the Cincinnati Reds?
Sorry, my mom texted me.
Oh, you're good.
No, Cincinnati Reds. I dude, I just don't like fucking Tito. I'm sorry. I've just always been a hater, but I got to give him a lot of credit. I'd say A minus just to start the year. A little easier of a division. Sal Stewart's so fucking good, man. Like, I just love that guy. I remember I was telling you about in spring training. He got hit on the hand with like a ball in the dirt that was thrown by I think like the third baseman or whatever, and it hit him on the hand, and he was like, "No, I thought it was broken, and then they told me it wasn't, and I went up and grabbed my necklace, and I thanked God." And he's just like
Yeah,
so like over dramatic, and I fucking love the guy. He's just like a Miami kid. Hits fucking bombs, beautiful swing. Ellie's having a good start to the year. Tito's got those boys really. You could see the enjoyment back in Cincinnati, and let me tell you, I I mean, Hunter Green being back is huge, and them having him be healthy and definitely need to monitor him. I don't know about him getting back this soon. It kind of scares me. But
yeah,
bro, Chase Burns is
stud, so good.
um okay. I know people like because of the Westerholt series on guards Twitter were like, "Oh man, it'd be like," our one buddy in our group chat was like, "Oh, it'd be nice to have Westerholt right now," which okay, he was
Weatherholt, he's
projected.
so fucking good.
Weatherholt, sorry, Weatherholt. Yeah, not
He's got
Westerholt.
scary pop, dude.
Weatherholt.
Sneaky pop
Scary
for
pop. And he
yeah,
was the number one prospect going into that baseball year and had some
yeah.
injuries at West
Him and
Virginia and
Condon, yeah,
whole Big 12 thing. And I was a big Condon guy. But man, looking back, dude, maybe this guy should have been the dumb. I mean,
dude.
if he was wearing a guards jersey, him and Gavin and Park, I mean, dude, and I love Bazana. This is
Cantillo,
not like,
yeah,
this is not, and Cantillo. I love JC. I love JC. I love Jesus Christ and I love Joey Cantillo. But I, uh, I think that Chase Burns addition to this team would just, and I love Bazana and I'm so excited for him. And I know you don't like him because of the ninth inning blunder, but I think Brito would be fine. I just like looking at what we have right now. I'm like, shit, like that actually might have been nice to just have It's like he's almost Paul Skeens type of like. I think people don't realize how fucking good this dude is to start the year. Like he is so filthy. He's such a gamer. He's such a bulldog on the mound, and I think that with Hunter Green, dude, those two, if he could stay healthy, and you have Andrew Abbott. You still have really, really good hitting all throughout the lineup. And if Matt McLean and those guys can get going this year, they're a wild card team for sure. I mean, they're just improving on what last year was, even though I'm not a fan of the manager. You know, they have some fun players, and again, I love Chase Burns. He's probably one of my favorite pitchers to watch.
Yeah, Chase Burns, it's kind of weird to me when you look at his savant and the way he pitches that his breaking stuff might be better than his fastball, and he rears it back at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Dude, it's just crazy. Like he's a special talent. He's been pitching out of his mind for them, and he had a rough outing the other night, but he's kind of shown the ability to make his adjustment and go back out there the next 5 days, and pitch out of his mind again.
yeah,
One thing I want to give credit to, dude, Sal Stewart, like you said, is just out of this world. 99 percentile batting around value, 99 or 95 in base running, but dude, like it's just here, 98th in expected OBA. He's slugging out of his mind. He's barreling the ball out of his mind. He's walking. He's way more walks than strikeouts right now. For a young hitter like that who's only played in, I don't know, like 12 something games, maybe more than that. Sorry, like 18 games. Can't math right now, but you get what I mean. Like, that's impressive stuff. And like,
absolutely.
he's, if he keeps it up, he's winning the National League MVP. And I don't think it will be even close
For
for
real, dude.
National League MVP and Rookie of the Year.
For
Rookie of
real.
the Year,
Yeah,
maybe?
is he qualified for rookie? Yeah, I don't think he played.
Yeah, he is. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, yeah, he is. I mean, I can't even think of the last time. Like, maybe he's like maybe kind of similar to a Goldie, like with the base running and the walks. I mean, his fielding's fine. It's not bad. I don't. He's not a bad fielder. I don't think he's like a Gold Glover right away. But um, that's like what he reminds me of his bat. Like he just barrels everything or he walks, and that's a fucking great strategy, man. That's a that's a winning strategy in the MLB. If you barrel a lot and you walk a lot, you that's usually an all-star. So
Yeah, and one of my buddies in my baseball group chat, my buddy Kent, he sent me the comparisons right now of Sal Stewart, Chase DeLauder, and I forget the other one. I think it was Aaron Judge. And Sal Stewart has better numbers across the board than any of them right now. He's already close to a 1 WAR. And like he also sent me his spray chart, dude. Take a look at the Sal Stewart spray chart. It's just hitterish. All like here, five of his home runs are all the other way, all the right center and the right field.
oh,
He's
you know
pulled
what that
one
gives
ball to
off?
left field for a home run.
That's Miggy vibes. That's straight Miggy vibes.
Tell me,
That's
that
Miguel
is Miggy
Cabrera
vibe.
vibes.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw it for fucking 70 home runs. I swear he found that bullpen in right center or right field like every series.
every time. Yeah,
That's such a yeah, that's
yeah,
such a big and like Judge is good, but like Judge is more natural when he hits that like left center field. And he's so big you kind of want him to pull. Sal's like not the biggest dude in the world. I think he's like what, 6 foot, 6'1".
no, he's only 6'1", 6'1",
Yeah.
224. Yeah.
He's a bigger, but he's not huge, you know. So like, yeah, he's a lot like similar size to like a Yandy Diaz and an Orlando, right? In a junior. You kind of want to
Mhm.
use that whole part of the field. And yeah, the walks, man. If you can do that at a young age, that's scary as a hitter. Because then, I mean, if you could take your
Yeah.
walks, that's such a hard thing to do, especially with guys that grew up hitting homers their whole life.
Well, like the thing that screams out to me, and we'll end this in a second. What screams out to me, if you look at his spray chart, is he hits the ball so hard the other way that eventually, like, if you look at it, there's barely any pulled balls. Once he starts pulling the ball, dude, he's going to hit 40 home runs. Like
Easily.
right now, he's sitting at 7. He had 5 a year ago and 58 plate appearances, which is crazy. Like this is just a pure raw talent hitter that is probably going to be one of the best first basemen, third basemen in all of baseball for a while now.
Yep.
So if you don't know who Sal Stewart is, man,
Find out.
Put him on your radar. You'll find out when he plays your favorite team. But you got anything else, man, before I wrap it up for you?
No, not no, really. I love just Sal Stewart's awesome. That's about it. I can't really think. I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember. It wasn't that great of a addition. But you're
Nah.
right about pulling the ball. Like when he starts being able to get those high, like those hanging breaking balls and change ups instead of singles, he's able to like really pull those with the barrel, and then he catches 15 home runs the opposite way.
Yeah.
Or just like all the fastballs he can just naturally fling out to right field at that ballpark. And he's got a great guy to learn how to pull the ball from in Eugenio Suarez. So
Dude, yeah. That guy is such a great addition for that
that
Reds
man
club.
pulls the
Banger.
ball.
Yeah, he
Pulls the ball.
but he went
That's a
oppo
man right
yesterday.
there.
He went
Yeah, I
oppo,
know.
yeah,
Yeah,
down the right
I'm
field line yesterday.
I'm
In that,
impressed with him.
I mean, I think both of us can go, yeah, at fucking Great American. I don't
Yeah,
think that. I mean,
yeah.
I think those are the two ballparks I can hit a home run in is Yankee Stadium and Great American. But we're not
I
taking
take.
credit away
I
from
think
these
I could go
fellas.
yard at the Giants left field
The Giants,
because I'm a righty. But yeah,
yeah,
not the
wind
wall.
has to blow out, wind blowing in.
Yeah, wind blowing out for sure.
Yeah.
I need some help. I need some.
Hey, we'll hit the gym together more often, man. I
Yeah.
mean, we I know we both go there a lot,
I
but
used to take the fungo out on a 300,
yeah,
310 pretty easily from home. That was fun. I'd be like
yeah.
hit a fly ball, I'd be like, sorry guys. But You try to hit a couple.
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, shit, my bad, fellas," and
Yeah.
then just keep going out. Like, "Coach, stop hitting
Shout
those
out
balls."
Northeast Ohio baseball right now.
Yeah.
That's
Shout
all
out
we'll
Ro
say.
I can't say that. I just wanna say one thing before you're
Shout
wrapping
out
up the show.
Riverside. Shout out
Yeah.
Riverside.
Shout
We
out
love our
Riverside.
podcast number.
Shout out Rocky River Baseball. Just wanna say, if you're a kid and you're a high school kid, stay in your curfew. Don't get your coaches fired. All right,
Yeah.
but from Andrew
Stan.
D'Agostino, I'm Brian Gross. We'll see you next time on Beer and Ball. Crack open your favorite beverage. Enjoy the great baseball ahead this weekend, and we'll see you next time on Beer and Ball.
See you guys.